Hello there. In this video, we'll go for a deep dive into OET speaking test. OET speaking test is basically a one-to-one interactive live session. The talk between the interlocutor and the test taker. Interlocutor is a person who helps you to build a conversation. He or she will not assess your score. In the OET speaking test, the first section is called the warm-up part. It's the warm-up session. The interlocutor will ask you some questions. For a nurse, for example, may I have your full name, please? What's your profession? Why did you choose nursing? What are the major problems faced in nursing? And so on. It's just to understand the accent and the pronunciation. The first part is not assessed. After that, the interlocutor will help you with a role play card. The role play card has three parts. The first is called settings, second is introduction, and third, the task. Settings basically help you to understand where the role play happens. Might be a home visit, a general practitioner space, it can be an operation theatre, and so on. Introduction will give you a brief understanding on what exactly is the scenario. And task, there will be bullet points where you need to cover the task in the given time. So the preparation time is 3 minutes and the entire performance will be for 5 minutes. So you need to cover all the tasks in the 5-minute time. Clear? Once it's done, further it will be the interlocutor will take back the card and the scribbling pad. Further will give you another role play. So for the exam, there will be 2 role plays which you need to perform. Now we look into the criteria on what basis you get the score. There are 2 criteria. The first one is called linguistic criteria. It's basically associated with language. Second one is called clinical communication criteria, which is newly added in OET 2.0. In linguistic criteria, there are 4 sub-criteria. Each carries 6 marks. They are intelligibility, fluency, appropriateness of language, resource of grammar and expression. The next one is clinical communication criteria, in which there are 5 sub-criteria which carries 3 marks, which are relationship building, understanding and incorporating person's perspective, the patient's perspective, providing structure. Fourth one is information gathering, and the last one is information giving. Now we shall look into each criteria in detail. The first one is linguistic criteria, in which there are 4 sub-criteria. First one is intelligibility. Intelligibility means the main focus is on pronunciation. How good you are able to communicate with the patient. How easily the patient can understand. That's the main focus on intelligibility. Second one is fluency. Fluency determines the way of talk, the speed at which that you are talking. That's something very important. You shouldn't talk a bit fast or a bit slow, in a very normal speed, so that the patient can clearly understand what you're trying to tell. Third one is appropriateness of language. As it's a talk between the patient and the healthcare professional, you might use medical terms. Please explain what exactly is the medical term, just because he or she, the patient, might not come from a healthcare background. So it's very important to explain for a layman. The last one is resource of grammar and expression. It's basically grammar, having the right grammar in place. These are the 4 criteria which comes under linguistic one. The second one is clinical communication criteria. Clinical communication criteria, in which there are 5 sub-criteria. The first one is relationship building. Relationship building is basically, having a good rapport with the patient. Let the patient feel very comfortable talking to the healthcare professional, and he or she should open up. For that, you need to be a bit polite, talk in a very good manner, where they feel, wow, they feel very relaxed. and comfortable. Second one is understanding and incorporating the patient's perspective. That means evolving the patient equally. Like basically, it's really the focus is on let both talk. You're the healthcare professional is having a word with the patient. At the same time, patient is also expressing what are problems he or she is facing. So equally, both should talk. It shouldn't be like a monologue. It should be dialogue. Third one is providing structure. The talk should have a proper structure. That means greeting, then introduction, further following the task, and finally you're summarizing in a proper structured format. The fourth one is information gathering. You need to understand what exactly is running through right now with the patient. So for that, you need to basically ask open and closed questions. Try to use more open questions like, could you please help me out what exactly is running through right now? So that they feel, right, I'm having concern, I'm having this concern right now. So they are expressing. Closed question, do you have problems right now? Do you have pain right now? So like yes, no. Those are closed questions. Try to ask open and closed questions. Try to ask more open questions. Let the patient open up. The last one is information giving. Now you understood all the scenario. Now you understood what exactly is running through. You got a lot of information. Now you are giving the right information, the relevant information. Please don't try to go off topic. These are the things which you need to have in mind when you're in the OET speaking test. Now we'll look into OET score calculation. The first one is linguistic criteria, which has 4 sub-criteria. In every single criteria is out of 6. So the total will be 24, the maximum score which you can get in linguistic one. The second one is clinical communication criteria. We have 5 sub-criteria, which every single criteria is out of 3. So the total is 15. Now how we need to understand, like, on what basis, what's the calculating system. So in every single criteria you get, for example, if you look into linguistic criteria, there are 4 criteria. In it might be in the first criteria you can get 5, second criteria you can get 6, third criteria you can get 4. So it varies. So when you total all these scores, you will get a number. Just multiply that number with 12.8. You will get a digit. You will get the number. That's what your score is. So for example, if you get 39, you are the best or the better than the best, and you get the total 39. So 39 into 12.8, you get 499. Then your grade will be A. So it has a slab. The score ranging from 450 to 500, it will be A. 350 to 440, it's B. 300 to 340 is C plus. 200 to 290 is C. 100 to 190 is D. And 0 to 90 is E. This is how you can understand what's your score. Thank you so much. Get in touch with Posh Vibes for more updates.